Hi and welcome to another Wednesday evening chat with Louise. A little bit different this one, and I don't know if I'm going to get through to the end, but I'm going to have a go. Talking about depression, I think, is one of the hardest things to talk about. On Friday, I camped in the woods and had an amazing time with my friends. Saturday, I was really busy. Sunday, I felt tired, so I just rested all day, watched a bit of YouTube, watched a bit of telly, had a really relaxing day. So on Monday morning I expected to be up and about, full of beans after having such a lovely weekend. No, it hit me like a sledgehammer. I woke up, my first thought was, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be alive. I hate my life. I just wanted to cry. And I sat there thinking, why do you feel like this? You've just had the most amazing weekend. It's been really lovely. Why don't you want to be here anymore? What's the problem? Now, I recognise the signs of depression when it hits me, and believe me, it does hit you like a sledgehammer. But I'll talk about my day and what I did to get through my day, and how today, Wednesday, I'm functioning again. So I spent 3 hours. I'm lucky I didn't have a job to go to because I work from home and I could put things on hold. I did have to post for my business. I knew I had to do that. And I had a commitment at 6 o'clock to take my elderly mum to see her best friend who's dying in hospital, which is horrendous. So somehow I had to get from this, I want to die, I don't want to see anybody, I don't want to speak, I just want to cry, to being able to take her. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. So I spent 3 hours in bed wallowing to begin with. And I'm laying there thinking, if I could just go back to sleep, but I couldn't. So I made myself get up and I made myself make my bed. And then I went and stood in the shower for as long as I could, and I had it as hot as I could bear. Some people like cold showers. Hot works better for me. I'd even turned the towel radiator on. So I got a nice warm shower room and a nice warm towel. Now that was a little clue to about what had probably triggered this. So after scorching myself for a good 20 minutes, I then made myself dry my hair. I then made myself put my makeup on, moisturised, did all those things. But as I was doing it, that's all I allowed myself to think about. And then I sat and did my nails. My nails had got really long, so I cut them down, filed them, polished them. But each time, in fact, that's probably the best manicure I've given myself in ages, because that's all I was thinking about. I wasn't watching something on my iPad. I wasn't thinking about what I got to do. I just made myself go one step, one step, one step. So now we're getting to midday and I'm going, right, I've got to go and post. So instead of just driving to the post office and driving back again, it was pouring rain. I went a completely different way. And I just went round all the country lanes and I spent an hour and a half driving around. By now I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I managed to smile at the lady in the post office and I wasn't feeling like I was going to burst into tears. Then I got home and I cooked myself. I got my little camping stove out because I don't have a cooker. And I made a fry up. I'd actually got some really lovely food in because of this other project that you'll hear about on Sunday. And I actually cooked a really lovely breakfast. I still really didn't feel like eating it, if I'm honest. The reason I didn't feel like eating it was because the other thing that had triggered me was I'd put my jeans on that morning, my favourite jeans, and I couldn't get in them, couldn't do them up. Well, I could get them up, but they weren't very comfy. And when your day goes like that, and then what else did I do? Oh yeah, trapped my arm in the door. And it was just angry at everything. But I didn't want to even think about why that day. So anyway, I got to my mum's and I got her to the hospital and I got through it somehow. Did she know? Probably not. Could I have talked to her about it? No. Could I talk to anybody about it that day? No, I couldn't. Because I don't know why, but depression feels like failure. How many times do you see people that are struggling and you think, just pull yourself together, what have you got? And my life's good. I haven't really got anything. Yes, I have got things to worry about. There are a lot of things to worry about. But are they really going to hurt me now? No. But what triggered it? So the next day I woke up and I was still feeling very wobbly. So I really sat down and thought about it. What was triggering me and what had made me feel like that? And it's fear. Absolutely, it's fear. There'd been the thing about Starmer getting rid of the, the reduction of council tax for single people. Well, that makes a huge difference to somebody that's self-employed. I'm cross enough that I have to pay a full one anyway for living in my tiny little space. There is a video about that if you want to understand my living circumstances. So yeah, fear. And then fear of the dark nights coming. Fear of the clocks changing. That time seems to be going so fast this year. So yeah, I was getting worried because once the winter night's here, 4 o'clock I'm in my little room and you're not going out till 9 o'clock. And that's a long time to spend in a one room. And that was frightening me. I had so big plans for this year. I thought my land would have sold by now. I'd have been working on the barn again. It all would have been coming together. So the trigger had been the fact that they'd refused the planning on it for the first time on a change of use. I needed to change it to domestic because then it would sell straight away. Anyway, whatever the universe has got in store for me, that didn't happen. I will probably go to appeal. I just need to get my fighting spirit back again. So yeah, there was all those things. I'd had horrible negative feedback on eBay, which is my business. I'd had people lying about things, and it was just like that had all built up. So once I understood what had triggered it, then I felt a little bit more in control. And then I actually had to sit and write a list of what do I actually need? What do we need in life? Well, we need air to breathe, fine. We need water, we need food. I had got food. I'd already got some really lovely fresh food in. We need sleep. Now, sleep can be tricky when you're feeling depressed. You either want to sleep all the time or you don't sleep at all. But sleeping, yeah, not bad at the moment. I'm managing. I go to bed with the intent that I'm going to have a good night's sleep. And though the dreams sometimes can be weird off the chart, mostly I'm starting to feel a bit better when I wake up. And human company, that's the other thing. But the problem is when you're depressed, you put yourself away. You don't want to talk to people. So even this is a biggie, talking to you now. But spending time with friends, I have some good friends, and I don't have to talk about depression. I can just go and be me. And that is a really big thing. The other thing was physically, what had I stopped doing? Well, we'd not had sunshine, we've had rain for ages, and it doesn't even seem to get daylight. It's getting dark again already now. So what could I do? Vitamin D, magnesium. They're two things that I find I can lack in quite easily. Sometimes I get low in iron. So again, I'm looking at what I'm eating again, and I'm looking at maybe going on some supplements to help boost me again. So that's kind of how I dealt with it. And I must admit, as long as I make sure I eat well and I sleep well and I get time around people, I know by the end of this week, I'm hoping when I do my Sunday vlog, I'm going to be back in absolute fighting form again. Me back on it, ready to take on the world. But I just hope maybe some of those bits about how I managed to stop it before it really took hold, because I've had it in the past. It actually started when I got pregnant. It was a hormonal imbalance from my pregnancy, and then the postnatal depression came in, and I have had it on and off for the 25 years. I've had bouts when it's been for months, but then I was within my marriage, and if I didn't go to work, it didn't matter, it was a different scenario. Now the responsibility of everything's just me. And that, again, it all goes back to fear and lack, fear and lack, fear of not having enough money to pay the electric, fear of not having enough money to pay the bills, fear of being contained in this sort of space, frustration at not having been able to be creative. I want to build, I want to finish that. That is part of my soul process, if you like, something that's deep inside of me to create. And the fact that I have all that vision in my head, and at the minute it's just like this. So, bit of law of attraction, let's start thinking, letting go and allowing. And I do like to control, I do like to be in charge, if you like, and I've just got to go. So I cycle like this. I'll be great, absolutely happy, completely content with my lot, have an amazing time, and then bang, this will come in. But hopefully I'm now recognise it. I recognise the signs, and by my diet, my sleep, I'm being aware and looking at the things in life that I need, that I have already, being really grateful for what I've got, but equally knowing that if there's something I can't change out there, it's not worth worrying about. So lots of love to all of you that are going through similar things. And I hope if you can just knock it on the head in time, then you won't have to suffer those months of darkness, because it is a really dark hole if you get all the way down. So much love to you all.